All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start off by giving all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Now, this is just going to be an educational video. I want to give a disclaimer before I get into this subject. This is just for your edification on Hebrew culture and what the scriptures say about this particular subject. You're not to violate any woman's right to refuse sex, and you are to obey the age of consent in the state or country that you live in. Okay, this is only for edification. All right, so I had to give that disclaimer because you're going to have idiots out there who chop these clips up to make it look like we're saying something we're not. Okay, but with that disclaimer being said, we're going to get into today's lesson. Okay, now this is going to be a very, what's the word I'm looking for? Controversial subject. We touched on this before, but the time has come up again where we are to acknowledge it once again. And that is the subject of forced marriage in the Holy Scriptures. That first scripture I'm going to start off with is Ecclesiasticus chapter 5 and verse 15. Be not ignorant of anything, and a great matter or a small. Right, so we're not supposed to be ignorant of these things. Okay? The scriptures say what they say. So, with that being said, we're going to bring out what the scriptures say revolving around the subject and get the proper understanding. Okay? Because, and this is a defense of the doctrine of Great Millstone. Okay? Because GMS, the elders of GMS, are the only Israelite group out there to teach this doctrine. All right, so GMS, on this topic, GMS has the truth. And it can clearly be seen just by simple research. Okay? If you go on the app, Wikipedia, right? If you have the Wikipedia app, or even if you just go on Google and go to Wikipedia and you look up the term forced marriage, okay, or bride kidnapping is what it's called. They're going to tell you that bride kidnapping is a custom that basically a man will take an unmarried, unbetrothed, what the word betrothed means, unengaged, okay, woman by force against her will, and basically take her as his wife, which usually revolves the act of rape, okay? And when I say rape, I'm not talking about as you see in these Hollywood movies, where a man grabs a woman, takes her, somewhere private, beats her up, and rapes her. That's wickedness there, and that's a sin unto death, according to the scriptures. Okay, we're talking about in the ancient world, if a man saw a woman, a beautiful woman that he wanted, which the way it was supposed to be is the man would have to go to the woman's father and get her permission. I mean, his permission, Salakia, because the woman doesn't really have a say in who she marries according to the Holy Scriptures. All right, that's just an American custom. Okay, but that's not in the scriptures. All right, and all throughout human history, is always the father of the woman who would marry her off to another man. Okay, it was only this modern belief with feminism that was around late 1800s, early 1900s that brought on this modern belief that women have an equal say. That is inaccurate according to human history and the scriptures. All right, which again, I'm not saying just go out there and do this in this society. This is just for edification. Let's see. I only got 18 minutes to record this, so I'm going to go relatively quickly. We might even need to do 2 parts to this lesson. Let's see. Okay, we're going to start above the point, but we have to get a proper understanding of the subject at hand. Okay, this is Deuteronomy chapter 22 and verse 22. It says, if a man be found laying with a woman married to a husband, and shall both of them die, then shall both of them die, both the man that lay with the woman, and the woman, so shall thou put away evil from Israel, And if a damsel that is a virgin be betrothed unto an husband, and a man find her in the city, and lie with her, then ye shall bring them both out unto the gate of that city, and ye shall stone them with stones, that they die. The damsel, because she cried not, being in the city, and the man, because he have humbled his neighbor's wife. So shalt thou put away evil from among you. Listen here. But if a man finds a betrothed damsel in the field, and the man force her, I want you to keep in mind the word force. It says if the man force her and lie with her, and the man only that lie with her shall die. Now, why is this man going to be killed here? Okay, someone's going to say, well, because the act's totally wicked. No. The reason why this man was put to death in this instance is because this woman that he took was already promised to a man. She was engaged to another man. Let's read it again. Deuteronomy chapter 22 and 25. But if a man finds a betrothed, remember the word betrothed means engaged, damsel in the field, and the man force her and lie with her, then the man only that lie with her shall die. But unto the damsel thou shalt do nothing. There is in the damsel no sin worthy of death. As for when a man rises against his neighbor and slays him, even is this matter. Right, there's no reason why she would be put to death because she wasn't with it. Okay? For he found her in the field, and the betrothed damsel cried, and there was none to save her. And that proves that men are not on the same level as women. In other words, men are above women. Okay, because an average woman, you got some exceptions, but an average woman really can't fight off of men because men are created to be stronger than women. It's just a fact. Now, here's the main meat here. There's a lot of guys, they spiritually choke on this, okay, because this is the main subject of the debate right here. Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 28, if a man finds a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, meaning she is not engaged, she is not married, and lay hold, I want you to remember this word, lay hold. This is going to be important in maybe 5 minutes here, okay? This is going to be very important to remember this word, lay hold. I want you to remember that. Lay hold on her and lie with her, and they be found. Then the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife. Because he have humbled her, he may not put her away all his days. Right, so I said to remember the word lay hold, okay? For you guys out there, because you got simpletons out here like LUIC and say the word lay hold basically means to agree. Okay, this is not true. And I'm going to give a clear, what's the word I'm looking for, example in the scriptures to support this this statement of mine. Okay, so remember that word. Remember lay hold. We're going to go back just one chapter here. Okay, and my challenge is this. If the word lay hold means that they agreed, right? He did not just take her by force against her will. If you guys are teaching that the word lay hold means they both agreed, right? She gave her consent to the action that the man did to her. Well, I have a very serious question for you. And that question is this. Deuteronomy chapter 21 and verse 18. If a man has a stubborn and rebellious son, which will not obey the voice of his father or the voice of his mother, and that when they have chastised him, he will not hearken unto them, then shall his father and mother lay hold on him, and bring him out to the elders of the city, and unto the gate of his place. And they shall say unto the elders of the city, this our son is stubborn and rebellious. He will not obey our voice. He is a glutton and a drunkard. And all the men of the city shall stone him with stones that he die. So shalt thou put away evil from among you, and all Israel shall hear and fear. Now wait a second. You're going to tell me if this son agreed, right? He consented to be taken and put to death. You guys, look, I haven't seen a sucker this soft since Funicula. Anybody who teaches that don't know too much, man. Obviously, lay hold means by force. There's no way around it. None, zero, nada. There's nothing you guys can pull out of your ass to escape out of this one. Okay? There's nothing you can say. It clearly says in the scriptures that forced marriage is okay. Which again, I'm not teaching to go out and do that in this society, but the scriptures do say it though. It clearly says it in the scriptures. So if the scriptures say it, we are to teach what's in the scriptures. Okay? That's why the Lord said in Matthew 11:6, and blessed is the man who is not offended in me. All right, because a lot of these guys are just offended in the Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. All right, they are just offended at the gospel. Okay? And this is part of the gospel. This is part of the scriptures. So we are to teach this because this is in the scriptures. Now, as far as doing it, well, nobody's teaching to go out and do it. That'd be foolish to go and do that in this society. But as far as what the scriptures say, for truth's sake, we got to bring it out because it is in the scriptures. Okay? It's very simple to understand. So once again, anybody who disagrees that Deuteronomy chapter 22 and verse 28 is not talking about bride kidnapping. If anybody believes that, we'll use the word lay hold. All right? So if the word lay hold basically means that he didn't force his will upon her, well, then back here in Deuteronomy, the 21st chapter, would you then be applying that this son agreed to be put to death? It says the word lay hold, so they laid hold on him. Okay, so obviously they took him against his will, just like the man with that woman and the next chapter. Okay, he took her against his will. Okay, it's very simple to understand. Okay, very simple indeed. Okay. It's also another thing I want to go ahead and get in the book of Genesis, the 19th chapter. Wait real quick. Okay. We'll read this just to get a proper understanding. We all should know the story of Lot and his escape from Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay, which is in Genesis, the 19th chapter. But there's a reason why I'm going to be reading this, but I'll start above just to get a proper understanding. Genesis 19:1, and there came two angels to Sodom at evening, and Lot, Salakia. Hey, it's not highlighted, so sometimes I'll stutter over it. And Lot sat in the gate of Sodom, and Lot, seeing them, rose up to meet them. And he bowed himself with his face towards the ground. And he said, Behold, now, my lords, turn in, I pray thee, into your servant's house, and tarry all night, and wash your feet, and ye shall rise up early, and go on your ways. And they said, Nay, but we will abide in the street all night. And he pressed upon them greatly. And they turned in unto him, and entered into the house. And he made them a feast, and did bake unleavened bread, and did eat. Now before they lay down, the men of the city, even the men of Sodom, could pass the house round about, both old and young, and all the people from every quarter. And they called unto Lot, and said unto them, Where are the men which came into this night? Bring them out unto us, that we may know them. And Lot went out at the door unto them, and shut the door after him, and said, I pray you, brethren, do not so wickedly. Now listen here. Behold, I have $2, which have not known men. Let me, I pray you, bring them out unto you, and do you to them as is good in your eyes. Only unto these men do nothing, for therefore they came under the shadow of my roof. So Lot was going to offer his $2 to this group of homosexuals to do what they want with them. Is that rape? Yes, it is, because these women, Lot's daughters, did not have a choice. Now, he did not end up doing it. He did not end up giving his daughters to this group of men. but he offered it to them. He offered them, hey, look, you take my daughters and do what you want with them over there, but don't touch these men, which were really angels, manifested on earth as men. Okay? We need to read that again. And again, they don't get emotional. This is in the Bible. I mean, it clearly says it. Okay? Genesis 19:18, or not 8, not 18, verse 8. But now I have 2 daughters which have not known men. Let me, I pray you, bring them out unto you, and do ye to them as is good in your eyes. Only unto these men do nothing, for therefore they came under the shadow of my roof. Okay? It's very simple to understand what it's talking about there. And again, not that we're going out doing any of this in the society. This is just historical biblical fact. Okay? I'm going to do a part 2 to this lesson because I'm running out of video space here. So, Lord willing, I can put part 2 in the description box down below. And if I cannot do so, what you can do is just go on my page and you can find the second part of this video. With that being said, I'm going to say shalom.